Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked to Life Fly Fishing. And I want to discuss a problem we have when we want to build a fly with a big profile when it comes through the water. Typically steelhead patterns where you want like these big large flies, push a lot of water, that look really big and bulked up. Comes with a downside. If you create this really heavily dressed fly and you pack a lot of material on so it's really got big shoulders when it comes through the water, it's like casting a wet sock. If you're spey casting, it's trouble getting the anchor out of the water. Or if you're overhead casting, it's full of water back there and it's so heavy and it's bouncing around. They're ugly to cast, and who wants to do that? The other problem you have with a big high drag flies is they tend to ride up in the water column. Even though you've got some heavy sink tip in there, it still tends to drag that sink tip up. So, just simply piling a lot of material on a hook is not the best way to get some bulk. So I'm going to show you a method to have a fly that comes through the water looking like it's massive. If you want to check out my BNC thingy, this is a fly that's built that way, and it looks like it's about 3/4 of an inch across when it's coming through the water. Now, however, it's sparse. It's the way we use hydrodynamics to puff the material up. Okay, here's the issue here. If you're dealing with soft material like this marabou or some very soft hen, when you pull that through the water, it tends to flatten down. Yeah, it puffs up a little bit, but not a lot. You don't get a lot of bulk out of that. So a lot of people do. They put lots of marabou, multiple feathers, and sure, it works. It creates a bulky looking fly. But there's another trick to doing that. Adding some guinea. This is a very stiff barb on this feather. And when you add guinea, it has a very, very interesting effect. So I prepared this feather. I'll add it on right now. Just make sure the marabou's behind it. One turn in. Now, the interesting effect of putting that guinea on the front of that marabou is the guinea does not fall down when you pull it through the water or when it's swung in current. And it has this effect of creating turbulence behind those stiff barbs. And that turbulence causes the marabou to fluff up. So even though there's one small marabou feather behind that guinea, it's going to look large when it comes through the water. And if you've ever tried tying my BNC thingy and swung that fly, you'll see how big that thing looks coming through the water despite only having one marabou feather on it. And the other neat thing about guinea is that it's so spiky it looks like pectoral fins on a small fish. So it gives that kind of effect when it comes through the water. It's quite dramatic. So give that a try. If you want to create a bulky looking fly without the bulk, add a stiff barbed feather on the front. I'm using guinea. You could use other stiff barbed feathers. As long as it's good and stiff, it's going to have the same effect. It won't fall down in the water, and it's going to create turbulence, which causes the marabou or the soft hen, whatever you have behind it, to fluff up. So keep that in mind. Put a stiff barb in front of a soft barb. You're going to get a big bulky looking fly without the actual bulk. So give it a try. Cheers.